How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm currently in a lecture and in medical school. This is one of our problem-based learning classes. This is where we solve a case every week. But before I got here this morning, I recorded a video on the personal statement that you need to apply to University of Notre Dame Medical School in Australia. I filmed the video in a way where it was more, instead of me just talking about it, I ran through what my personal statement would have sounded like.
The essence is that
Right, I'm gonna get back into this lecture, but let's rewind back and hopefully you guys get a lot out of this video. Let's go.
Sort of understanding some of the molecular basis really is.
Growing up, I've always loved problem solving. I loved my maths at school, I loved my sciences, and that translated onto my undergraduate as well, where I took math subjects on top of my biomedicine subjects. I took computing subjects where I would be writing code to solve different projects and different problems that come with it. And as I did all these subjects and all these experiences that I came across, I realized that problem solving is something that I really gravitate to and something that I would really love to keep continuing into my career and into my future academic experiences. So now that's one of the qualities that I'll be talking about in my personal statement. Why? Because problem solving relates very nicely to medicine. And I'm not making this up, this is actually true. But I'm also really explicitly saying that medicine is a career where you get to problem solve. You get to diagnose patients by looking at different symptoms, logic, problem solving. The other thing you can do is obviously working in a complex environment. You're always problem solving when working with others, all these different disciplines. So hopefully this first thing makes sense, where I've talked about a quality, I've shown that I've had experiences where I found out that I love this quality, in this case problem solving, and then I talk about how medicine relates to it, so it makes sense why I'm applying to medicine at this point in my life. But remember, that's not the only thing, because if I only love problem solving, I could just go into a career of coding, into a career of maths. Like, why am I choosing medicine? Hopefully by the end of this video, it all comes together. Let's keep going. So I went to high school in a rural town, and in that town, going to high school there, I really learned a lot about the importance of community. And especially when you grow up in a small town, you realize how boring life can be unless you connect with others from different backgrounds, whether that be age or culture, and all live together and learn to all help each other. That really instilled in me a desire and appreciation for diversity, as well as serving these small communities. Now, this is also something that I would really love to be able to do in the future, whether it be moving to a small community back again or advocating for small communities if I'm able to become a medical student / a health practitioner. If I get to become a medical student at the University of Notre Dame, the university has really strong values for compassion and service to the community. And I would love to learn more about how I can serve these small communities, as well as try and take initiative during medical school to advocate for them. What I've done here is spoken about, again, an experience that I've had, which is going to high school in a rural town, and then very quickly moved on to how that led to my medical school application, and then I also brought in the University of Notre Dame there. We're getting late, let's keep going. Alright, although I've talked about problem solving and I've also talked about my love for rural communities, that's still not enough, because that doesn't really pinpoint to medicine. So the next thing I'd probably talk about is research. So I did an honors year after my undergrad and I absolutely loved it. During my honors year, I really had a really good appreciation for what research is and where research stands in terms of how research and medicine play a role and how important research is for medicine to exist. That's something that I would really love to continue in the future, and medicine is a career that would really allow me to continue research on the side of my practice. I also found out the importance of working with others in the field and how to carry myself, whether it be professionally, and also really living up to the standards that are set by your supervisors. And if you commit to a course, for example, for my case, that would be the honors year, how important it is for you to take initiative and take this self-directed type of learning quite seriously. And what I did here, again, obviously, you guys are seeing kind of the pattern, right? Talking about your experience from the past. So talking about the past, what I've learned, then moving on to the future. Like, this is how it shaped me to the point where I'm applying, and how is this gonna shape me if I'm successful into medicine, and then if I'm successful into specialization training, etc. The last thing I wanted to talk about is this balance between talking about the past versus talking about the future. I think it's important to do both, but your personal statement should mostly be to me about the past and the current, because in terms of the future, like, a lot of students could make a lot of different claims, like, oh, I plan on joining the army, I plan on practicing in a rural town for 20 years or the rest of my life. But again, that's not really founded in anything solid. There is no evidence. It's definitely good to say these things, because it's obviously better to hear that someone is already thinking about that than not. But I think you really need to back that up with, okay, I've actually done this, where I've actually proven myself to be able to do that, or I've proven myself to be gravitating towards different aspects of whatever that is. So it should mostly be the past and the present before moving into how that plays in with your future if you're successful at Notre Dame, or more importantly, what that looks like if you're successful into becoming a doctor in the future. This is getting really soggy, so I'm gonna down this. Most importantly, guys, remember, you only have about 800 words to do this, right? So it's not a lot of words, so you need to be concise, but most importantly, be concise but not superficial, right? I'll say that again. Be concise but not superficial, because if you're being superficial, it's not gonna come across good if you're just listing experiences again, because the portfolio is already there for it. Yeah, 50% is what the things you've done and what the things you're planning to do, but the other 50% is definitely how you talk about it and how you express yourself, because again, medicine is a career of expression and communication, and they definitely want to choose people who are good at that. Alright, it's time for me to head off to med school, but I just want to leave you guys with one last thing to say. After you've written your personal statement, you need to ask yourself two questions. Have you demonstrated that medicine was an informed choice and not just something random you came up with one day and you're not just doing it for the hype? So number one, have I demonstrated that I have enough experiences, enough interest that it pinpoints to medicine as a career? And number two will be, the values I displayed through this personal statement, are they in line with medicine and are they in line with Notre Dame? If you've answered those two questions to be yes, I think you've done a good job. I think you need to just relax and just put it in. You can't change what happens after you submitted that application. There's a lot of different factors. It's not even just you. You're going to be compared to everyone else that's applying. So there's no point you sitting there and thinking about all your percentages and chances of getting an interview offer. Do your best. Answer these two questions in your personal statement, and then that's all you can do. Stay relaxed. If you want to chat about this, feel free to DM me. Otherwise, I know you guys got this. This is the most stressful time of the med school applications, all the unknowns. But hopefully as the months go by, you'll have a better idea of what's coming for you. If it doesn't work out this year, that's completely okay. There's always next year. And again, medicine is not a rat race. Cool guys, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content. Otherwise, I'll leave you guys to it. There's a bit of time left before the GEMSAS deadline. Fingers crossed, University of Notre Dame loves your portfolio and your personal statement. Feel free to check out my video on the portfolio if you haven't yet. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you guys.